There's some interest in your calf. Do you have any update for us there?
Nothing more than you've already seen. I practiced today, did what I could. I know Coach just told you guys what the process will be tomorrow for me to play, and yeah, we're just taking it from there.
Are you dealing with the strain?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tim, here front.
Tyrese, obviously you want to play. Everybody always wants to play. And it is the finals, which only makes you want to play more. How smart do you have to be, I guess, in this situation? Or are you not even thinking in those terms at this point?
Well, I think it depends on who you ask. I mean, you're asking me, so I think I have to be as smart as I want to be. I have to understand the risks, ask the right questions. But I'm a competitor. I want to play. I'm gonna do everything in my power to play, and that's just what it is. But I mean, I think the answer to that is dependent on who you ask.
Okay. Follow up here.
Oh, sorry. Can you give us an idea of what the treatment is like? Is it like, as I know, as close to 24 hours as you can do? Like, what do you do for a strained calf? What can you do for it?
Yeah. I mean, I think just around the clock stuff as much as I can. Massage, needles, hyperbaric, H-wave. I mean, just a bunch of different things to try to get it to feel as comfortable as you can going into it. The right tape and stuff, while I am performing. And yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's a bunch of medical professionals who could give you a better answer, but just doing everything that I'm told, trying to do everything I can.
Next row back.
Hi, Tyrese. Guilherme Giovannone from ESPN Brazil. I would like to ask about your teammate, Andrew Nembhard. He's doing a very good series, but he has, like in the last quarter, a few minutes that he turnover, he missed shots. Have you guys talked to him to keep his confidence high, and because he's a very important guy for you?
Yeah. I mean, I think through the course of the game, we all make mistakes. Nobody's really tripping off it. Understand who he is and how big of a part of our group he is. And, I think last game came down to much more things than, just a couple turnovers or a couple missed shots here and there. There's so many things that we can do better as a group. I think there doesn't even need to be a conversation about it. We're moving on to game 6, and, we feel like everybody's got an opportunity to be better in different areas, and, everybody has to be prepared for that.
Dustin in the center.
Just to kind of clarify the timeline on this whole thing, I mean, you just generally referred to it as lower leg, but I guess, was it an ankle after game 2 and was it a calf after game 5? I guess were those two completely separate injuries? Had you been dealing with the calf at all before game 5, and that just become, I guess, when you tripped trying to drive on Chet there?
Yeah, it sounds about right. Yeah.
Any other questions? All right. You got him follow up? Dustin, one more.
Sorry, Ty. You've talked before about the situation when, the staff kind of saves you from yourself, basically. I mean, just how much trust, I guess. I mean, you obviously have a lot of trust, but I mean, just what have those conversations been like over time when you've dealt with various kinds of injuries, and obviously how much trust have you sort of gained in the medical staff and in its opinion, and when it comes to situations like this, and like you said, sort of taking care of you, make sure you don't go beyond what you can do.
Yeah, I have a lot of trust in our medical staff. I have a lot of trust in our organization to make the right decision. I think, there's been many situations through the course of my career where they've trusted me on my body. And I mean, you're here more than anybody. I'm questionable from time to time throughout the course of the season, and they trust me to make the right decision on my body when the power is in my hands. And I'm going to try my best to do that. But I mean, you understand, I want to be out there, and that's the plan.
Michael, last question here.
Real quick, Tyrese, thank you. It goes without saying maybe, but if this was regular season, would you even think about playing? And does it feel like something that would keep you out for a week or 2 weeks? Or how does it feel in that context?
Yeah, probably. I mean, that would probably be the case. But we're not in the regular season, so it is what it is.
Tim Reynolds with the AP. Pascal, I know you guys would rather be up in the series or get to 4 already, but if you go by the schedule, it's supposed to be 3-2 them right now. I guess how simple does that make things? Home court is held, and all you got to do is win a home game to get to Sunday. Do you keep it that simple, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's all we can do, right? Think about the next game, great opportunity in front of our fans. I'm sure it's going to be, a huge moment for our fans, and it's just they're gonna be super excited, and we have a chance at home NBA Finals. Like it's a great opportunity, and that's all it is.
Couple of rows back, Jamal.
Pascal, TJ McConnell, just kind of what kind of a boost, just in general, this series has he given you guys, and obviously given Tyrese's status, kind of how important is he going to be for tomorrow?
Yeah, no, super important. I thought he played well. Just being TJ, doing the things that he does. I think offensively, like he's another person that another ball handler, someone that can get us to our spots, push the pace, and yeah, he played great last game, and he's going to be huge for us, going forward too.
Michael?
Pascal, Michael Grange from Sportsnet, Toronto. When Tyrese was kind of limited in Game 5, you stepped up, had that huge fourth quarter. You've had some other really big scoring games in this playoff run. Are you prepared? Do you expect to have more burden on you going into Game 6?
I mean, I think the way we play, I think it's never been about one person. So I don't really look at it that way. I think obviously, like, Tyrese is a big part of what we do, like, and whether he plays or not, like, I think it's going to be a team thing, like we have to together all step up, and the importance of the game, we just all have to take a step forward, like, and it's going to be down the line. So I don't think any one of us should feel like one person is going to have to do it. It's going to be collective.
Any other questions for Pascal?
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Lord, I appreciate it.
From Tyrese.
Yeah, he participated in all our walkthrough stuff. So, but it's a walkthrough, so it's not. There was no real running or moving or anything. So, so we'll see. We'll see where we are tomorrow. It's a topic that's people want to hear about and know about, and there's going to be a lot of questions about it. But we will not really know for sure until late tomorrow afternoon or early evening.
Front right, Tim.
Rick, as you've kind of watched Jalen Williams develop from afar over the last few years and then seen him up close, obviously, in this series, what stands out to you about his game and the way that he's evolved over his few years in the league?
Yeah, he's the quintessential modern-day wing. He can do everything. He can attack off the dribble. He can make plays and pass the ball. He shoots the three. He shoots mid-range. He finishes. He gets the n-ones. He creates a constant vertical threat on the rim. And I don't know him personally, but he looks like a great person and a great young leader on that team. And he's a guy that we gotta slow down somehow, and it's not easy.
Alvaro?
Ridmo. Zach Lowe published a comment from an anonymous GM saying that this is the hardest playing finals he can remember. When I looked at Second Spectrum data, in the 12 years they've tracked it, the 2025 Pacers in the finals have run the most miles and at the highest speed of any team, regular season or postseason, in history. Is it a product of your scheme, the opponent, the situation? Are there limits? This is a question I really have. Are there limits to pace and space?
Limits based upon what? The dimensions of the court?
That this is
yeah, the court. I don't believe the court's going to get bigger anytime soon. This has been a topic for many years. Players are getting bigger, they're getting faster. How do you create space? The arenas are pretty much configured a certain way, and it's just very difficult to try to find an extra 6 inches of width on the court on each side or whatever. And so, yeah, I mean, that's one reason that the three-point shot has been so advantageous to the game. It creates more space. But as far as the running fast and running far, I mean, that's how we play, and that's what we're supposed to do.
Will, all the way in the back in the center.
Hey, Rick, can you just talk about Coach Busick and what she's meant to this team all year long, but in particular this historic finals run and what her ceiling is?
Well, I continue to answer the question the same way. She's one of the best coaches in the world. She's a great teacher. She's a great communicator. She has great knowledge, and she's someone that's committed to constantly learning and getting better. And so, when she was a head coach in the W, her teams were elite offensively. I've asked her to take on the role, a different role here, really concentrating on the defense. And it's been really to this point an 18-month effort to get better, to help some guys that weren't great defenders to become better team defenders, guys that were good defenders to hopefully become great defenders. And she's had a lot of impact on all that stuff. And at some point in time, there will be a first female head coach in the NBA. I believe that. And I believe that she's one of the few that could be that person.
We'll go to Steve. Mike's coming up on your right.
Rick, can you talk a little bit about the protocols of using a player or not using a player if he's hurt versus injured? Is it different in a game like Game 5 when that happens on the fly versus heading into a game? Is it medical staff, the players want to, your involvement? Does it change?
Yeah, it's all the above. It's all that. We were all talking constantly during Game 5, and yeah, and getting the feedback, and but Game 5's over. It's time to move on.
Have you had situations where you've had to rein a player in against his, most intense desires to be out there?
Yeah, but not without consultation with the medical staff and weighing all the factors. So, answer is yes.
Joe in the back.
Rick, a substantial number of us went to the wrong room. With Tyrese, we saw him out on the floor today. Was he able to do anything other than just sort of the set shots that we saw?
We did a 30-minute walkthrough. We did about 25 minutes of film, then a 30-minute walkthrough, and he was able to do both of those things.
And then I know you said immediately after Game 5 that you thought he had done some positive things in the second half. Having watched the film and gone over, do you still feel like he was while injured, he was still more of a positive being out there?
Well, he was in there when we got it to 2. We cut it to 2, and then what happened there was we had a good defensive possession. We overhelped and gave up a second shot, and it turned into a 3. And then we had an untimely turnover at the other end, and that turned into a breakaway dunk. And then all of a sudden, boom, it was 7 again. So, this is not related to Tyrese, but it's the two things right now that are really bothersome and challenging for us is the second shot rebounds and the turnover. So we're going to do our best to address those things. But as far as Tyrese, he'll go through the day tomorrow. Our prep sessions tomorrow, late afternoon, and they'll get together and do some testing, and that will determine whether he plays or not. And if he doesn't play, we have a plan, obviously, if we're without him.
Last question here on the left, second row.
Rick Ariaga from ESPN Brazil. Would you say that everything that has happened in this series is absolutely normal? You guys won a road game. They won a road game. They did their job last game, won a game in Oklahoma. And now in Game 6, you have the chance to go with 7. I'm asking that because the atmosphere around this series and Oklahoma became such a big favorite.
Yeah, I mean, we've been in this position before. We were in this position last year in the New York series. We were down 3-2. and we were coming back home. And so what we need to do is buckle down, stand strong, where we should. And I anticipate one of the best crowds in the history of Gainbridge Fieldhouse, and we got to find a way. And the ultimate is to get to a Game 7. That's the ultimate privilege. It's the ultimate experience in sports. But we've got to take care of home court tomorrow to do that.
Thank you.
I mean, not just TJ, all our backup guys, even someone as like Johnny Perky can step up and play some minutes. I think everybody's prepared for the moment. And, again, the moment is as big as it's going to get, so I think everybody will be ready.
Myles, how are things different if Tyrese isn't 100% and doesn't play for a while?
I mean, obviously, he's a head engine on our offense and whatnot. He makes a lot of things go, but again, I'm still very confident in our guys that come in and fill the role.
Okay, gone back to the homegrown part this time, starting from the board, he's back to what's it been like kind of adjusting to that?
I mean, even the first couple of games, they did the same thing. They just did it at a later time. So I think that, they do a good job of mixing up their lineups. You're not going to see the same lineup, the same time at the same times, every game. So, it's no different than we've seen the first couple of games.
Myles, last home game of the season, regardless of what happens, you've been here 10 years. How you expect that environment to be? And what does it mean to play on this stage in front of these fans and for an opportunity like this to see your season?
Yeah, I think so. I expect to be the best crowd, that we've had all season, and honestly, just in my years here, just with the moment, what it is. It's just it's not every day you get to go to, NBA Finals game. It's something you tell your kids about one day, So, history is something that's literally in the making, as we play that game. So I expect a great environment, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
How are you feeling health-wise? I know we had the cold or whatever. Are you over that or still working through it?
It doesn't matter. Yeah, that's the best way I can put it.
Anything else from Myles?
All right.
Oh, wait, one more.
Oh, what? What's up?
Sorry. You guys got to hustle.
Please.
This is the first time in the series of being behind in these playoffs. How you guys do it that in this specific moment?
I mean, you got to play like you're always behind. That's what I like to tell people. So even when we were ahead, we want to have the mentality like we're behind. So that it doesn't change.
Myles, you might have got one before. The bench guys, just the reserves all season and how they've stepped up for this group when they've needed to and perhaps might need to again in Game 6.
Yeah, no different than what we've, experiencing all season long. I expect our guys to, come in with the attitude that, it's do or die. And, I expect everybody to be ready.
What has made that group so effective? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 down the roster.
I think that, they mirror a lot of things that the starting lineup does, but then they do it with a lot more energy at times. So they bring a different type of energy and focus to the game. And whether we're up or down, they can be, we know we can rely on them like we've been able to do all season long.
Hey, Myles, it's the first time you guys are trailing in a series in this playoffs. Does anything change in your mindset ahead of the next game?
So I'm going to tell you something I told last buddy. We started the series off, with the mentality that, we were trailing and whatnot. So with that, our mentality, it can't change. Obviously the circumstances have changed, but, your mentality can never change.
When you took a look at last game, what were your biggest takeaways from what you guys could improve on?
I mean, the most glaring thing was the turnovers. You can't have 25 turnovers for 32 points and expect to win the game. You do a better job, obviously, controlling the glass and whatnot. I think we won the glass, but they still had 17 offensive rebounds. And then offensively, just more fluidity when playing the style that got us here.
You guys are unbeaten when you go over 110 scoring in this postseason run with or without Tyrese. What do you guys need to do a little bit better? You just touched on it a little bit on the offensive end of this next game.
Yeah, there's more touches. Continue to keep the ball moving. We play at a fast pace. We continue to play at that pace, and just be more aggressive, man. They had 12 more shot attempts than us, so we have to continue to try to get a clean look every possession.
I remember Rick talking to us about how you guys were told about the incoming potential trophy ceremony for Boston last year in the conference finals when they had 3 wins. Has he kind of shared any similar messaging this year about motivating or anything like that?
Yeah, but he shouldn't have to. I think it's just the overall pride and ego, that comes with that.
I mean, I think anytime in the playoffs, anytime you can play in front of your home crowd, it's huge. But especially when your back's up against the wall in an elimination game, this crowd can really will us to wins, and they have done so. And we need their very best tomorrow.
Does Tyrese and his injury kind of inspire you guys? If he's going to play not 100% healthy, how does it inspire you guys to play harder?
Yeah, I mean, we all support him no matter what. There for him, and just like I said, the support's there, and play extra hard for him as well.
Hey TJ, we're from Spain and we always talk about your ability to change games. Where did you learn that? And is that something that you can teach?
I don't know. I mean, for me, I just try to come in and do my job, and that's basically what it looks like. Just come in and insert energy where it's needed, and shoot when I'm open, make life difficult on defense for the other team, and give my teammates the ball, and that's what I've tried to do my whole career.
We saw yesterday a very intense Indiana Fever basketball game. I don't know how much time you had to actually see what's going on, but how could that even fuel you in a positive way, seeing their energy and how they do, because we know how close you're, like, supporting each other. So seeing them giving it all, how much this can support you for tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, we see all of them come to our games, and we appreciate it. I think the support back and forth between both teams is awesome, and we certainly support them to the fullest, and we love going to their games and showing support like they do for us. So every time they're at games, we certainly appreciate it, and we try to support them and go to games as much as we can.
TJ, you're just talking about obviously your role of coming in, the Obi bench performances from the bench in this series. How crucial will that be going into Game 6? Your guys' role coming off the bench.
Yeah, we just kind of got to inject energy like we always do. Our starters, have willed us here, and we just kind of got to go in there and, like I said, inject energy where it's needed and do our jobs.
You talk about doing your job, your description could change tomorrow night. I guess there's a possibility that you could start. Have you talked to Rick about that, or are you just prepared for anything tomorrow?
Yeah, I haven't talked to him. Honestly, just I think as a bench player, role player, just be prepared for anything.
Did you embrace this challenge? It's one game or it's over.
Yeah, I mean, it's give everything you have, and that's what all of us are going to do. We're not going to leave anything to chance or any regret. We're going to give everything we have. We have no other choice.
TJ, Game 5 had a huge stretch, kept the game, kept the Pacers alive, and then you didn't return for the fourth quarter. Then afterwards, Rick said that you were tired. Were you tired?
Honestly, I don't even remember. I trust Rick wholeheartedly with his substitutions. Let's make one thing perfectly clear. Rick is a Hall of Fame coach. He knows what he's doing, and we all have the utmost faith in his rotations, his X's and O's. We all love him, and that's the bottom line.
Having said that, Rick talked last year about the conversation he had with you early in the season about what your role in the rotation was going to be. He said that was a very difficult conversation to have. How did you respond to that?
Just by putting my head down and going to work. I think coaches in this league have a tough job. You can't please everybody. So sometimes you're the odd man out, and you can put your head down and sulk about it and make excuses, or you can put your head down and go to work. And I chose the latter.
DJ, you have a lot of playoff experience. What has been the message in the locker room to the younger guys, not only from you, but let's say with Carlisle as well, as you just mentioned?
That there's still more work to do. We've been in this position before, so we just, we can't flinch. We gotta be ready for the challenge tomorrow because they're gonna come out ready. And like I said, we just have more work to do.
TJ, have you seen the kind of memes, the comparison between you, the free throw line breathing, and then LeBron James, the famous photo of him? What was your reaction to it?
Asinine. I'm pretty sure LeBron, when they posted that, he won that game, I think, and it's LeBron. So really no comparison there, to be honest. I'm just being real with you.
Well, the love that you're getting is amazing, to see it, how does that make you feel?
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome, but, like I said, there's really no comparison between one of the greatest players to ever play the game and myself. So honestly, flattered, but like I said, just trying to do my job.
TJ, as sort of a high basketball IQ guy, people talking about you as a future coach. Can you tell me just big picture, if you're commissioner for a day, what would you change about the game?
Nothing. I don't know. I think he's got an incredibly tough job as well. I don't know what I would change, honestly.
How do you feel about the style of play?
I think it's exciting to watch, especially the style that we play. It's exciting. It's up tempo. People here certainly love it. So, I mean, credit to Rick and his staff for, implementing it here.
TJ, after that incredible third quarter, what were you feeling tired? Were you feeling fatigued at all, or does adrenaline kick in those situations and you were ready to go in the fourth?
No, I'm always ready when my number's called. I mean, there was probably a point where I was a little tired, but if he was to go with me, I was ready. But that didn't happen, and like I said, I have the utmost faith in Rick, and I trust all of his decisions. We all do, and I support him fully 100%.
When Shea and Jalen are going like they did in game number 5, how tough is it to defend?
I mean, it's just they're great basketball players, honestly. Some of the shots that they make, you just got to tip your cap to them. But I think we can make things more difficult.
What is the most important thing you guys have to do to keep the season going?
I mean, I just think we have to leave it all out there. Leave nothing left to chance and just play the full 48 and play to exhaustion for the full 48.
How are things different if Tyrese is not 100% and doesn't play the minutes that he usually puts in? How are things different for you guys, in your mind?
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about an All-NBA type guy if he's not 100%. So you miss a lot of his playmaking and the stuff that he does for us, and we all just have to pick up the slack and help him out.
Maybe. I think if we win the game, it'd probably be considered the craziest day of my life, but it's just another day.
How do you prepare to a game like that in terms of being aggressive, being the guy that can score a lot of points? How do you prepare your mindset for a game like that?
I think it's the same preparation. Just going out there and being relentless, just having fun, and trying to help my teammates win the game.
How hard is it to find that balance between being physical and realizing that they're good at drawing fouls?
Just knowing who's in front of me, knowing personnel, and doing anything I can to, to make it play.
And does that continue even if you get a couple of early?
Yeah, for sure. I just got to keep the same aggressiveness. No difference. Ça va être le fun. C'est quelque chose de bien, mais mon focus c'est sur gagner le match.
Discuter un peu avec coach Carlisle pendant la fin du shoot-around. De quoi est-ce que vous avez parlé, si tu peux résumer sans aller trop dans les détails, puis essayer de mentionner que peut-être tu devais prendre un rôle un peu plus grand avec Tyrese qui est
Juste d'embarquer sur le terrain et de jouer comme c'était mon dernier match.
When you think back to your time at the Latin Academy and that, how did that help you for these moments? What stood out to you about that entire experience?
About
the Latin Academy
in
Mexico.
Say it one more time, bro.
You went to the Latin Academy and was the star there and had to talk with their coach about that whole experience.
Sure.
What stood out to you about what you gained from that experience to now be a lottery pick and be where you are today?
It's a great question. I think that it really formed me as a man. I was super young when I went there to Mexico, and I was able to learn, the culture, the new language, and everything. So, pretty allowed me to grow a lot as I was alone most of my life, at a young age, and just being able to be independent today.
What was that distance like, away from your mom and your sister and brother?
At first it was hard, but I kind of got used to it quick, and I think that, like I said, it kind of helped me, become the man I am today.
Ben, you're known as such a high energy and intense player. In these home games, when the crowd is going and they're feeling it, do you have to do anything to kind of calm yourself down, or you kind of just go with the flow and live with the adrenaline at home?
Just going out there and, like I said, just play hard, man. Just play hard, having a lot of fun, and there's a big game tomorrow, so just staying focused.
Is it cool to see Isaiah out here?
For sure.
Unable to do stuff all year, but I think today was 9 months from surgery.
Yeah. For sure, it's crazy. You know, times fly, and I think that it's great to see him. You know, being smiling around and stuff like that. You know, especially he's been missing a lot of time. You know, last year I had a big injury myself on my shoulder, and I told him that sometimes it kind of sucks that you can't be a part of what we're doing, but to always keep your head up. You know.
What does TJ bring to this group? Obviously, there's energy, effort standpoint. I think he said in the podcast, like, playing hard is a skill.
So.
Do you, realize that in today?
For sure. I think I'm very, very, grateful for TJ, showing me a different aspect of the game. You know, he just plays with heart even if he's not making shots, he's going to do everything he can, just to have high energy and going out there and just be TJ. Il n'y a aucune pression pour de vrai là. Le plus gros match demain c'est le plus gros match de notre carrière et il n'y a aucune pression. Tout ce qu'on doit faire c'est de jouer le plus fort qu'on peut demain et jouer comme si c'est notre dernier match. I just feel like players on the bench are gonna have to be ready. I don't think my intensity or mindset is gonna change a bit. I'm just gonna be out there and be ready, and trying to be myself.
What have you guys fallen back on the last 2 years when you're in a tough situation? When you have you've been losing streaks, but they've been tough. You were down 3-2 now the last two. So what do you guys fall back on in terms of?
I mean, I think the best thing about us is we've been in those situations. I think that, to me, there's no pressure. I know for the rest of the guys, there's no pressure as well. So, if you don't feel that tickle in your belly playing the game tomorrow, then don't show up. That's the most important thing. And I'm not saying I'm going to drop 40, but I'm saying I'm going to make sure that I get the rebound and I dive on the floor and play as hard as I can.
Has it hit you yet that this will be the last home game of the season? And it's been unbelievably special.
For sure. Great moment to be a part of. And, no matter what, like you said, it's going to be the last game at home. But I want to make sure that we win the game tomorrow and then make history happen, Game 7.
Qu'est-ce qui n'a pas marché au match 5? On va justement marcher au match 6. Comment tu vois ton rôle justement dans ce match 6?
Être un peu plus agressif et de pouvoir faire moins de fautes. C'est difficile quand on joue. Il y a des trucs qui se passent un peu plus différents qu'on l'aurait planifié. Mais de pouvoir jouer précis basketball, c'est la chose la plus importante pour nous.
Last couple of days have been like as you try to rehab and recover, given all that's transpired.
Just get a recovery, take it day by day, understand the moment, understand where we are, and understand the opportunity ahead of us.
What's the mindset with or without Tyrese? How you have to adapt and forget about it?
Just continue to play our game, continue to push the pace, make sure that we are able to pick each other up for the things that he does so well for us. Try and get a little bit more out of everybody else to pick up for them.
What do you think was the overriding theme of why the offense and the turnovers continue to pile up? What needs corrected there?
I just think they do a really good job of putting the pressure on in their building. It seems a little bit different. I think the crowd helps out a lot with that. We just got to do a better job of weathering those storms. And, we'll be better in our building.
What was the you kind of talked about that already, but what was the emotional reset process after the loss and now coming back home? How do you look to impose your preferred tempo throughout the game?
It's just understanding the moment, understanding the situation that we put ourselves in. We were in the same situation last year against the Knicks, so it's not like it's unfamiliar territory for us. And just, it's something that we get to do. We get to play Game 6 here, and hopefully win tomorrow, and then you get to play Game 7 in the NBA Finals, which is every kid's dream.
Remember Rick talking last year when you guys were down through to Boston about trophy ceremony and making that a motivating factor for you guys. What has he kind of said or tried to steer you guys to keep you focused and motivated ahead of this one?
He mentioned it. He brought it up again of not letting anybody celebrate on our floor. We let Boston do that last year here, and that's something we're not going to let happen this year. And we're still going to win the whole thing. So it's just 2 games. We'll take it game by game, day by day, and let the cards fall in.
Now you mentioned Knicks last year. How similar to this feeling that you have right now about the importance of the game?
3-2, Game 6 at home. We're going to worry about tomorrow first. We get tomorrow done, and then after that, like I said, you get to play in a Game 7 in the NBA Finals. Come on, man, it's fun.
With such a high energy and high stakes game, is there anything that you do personally to center yourself or stay calm, or you just kind of try to stick to your routine as much as possible?
Stick to my routine. I say no matter wins, losses, big wins, big losses, as long as you keep your routine the same, it helps keep your mental the same. Never keeps you too high, never keeps you too low.
It's been cool to see Isaiah kind of do what he can around the team, given he's been unable to do anything all season.
Yeah, I actually talked to him today about his journey and how long it's been. He said it was 9 months today. So he's been working extremely hard, and I'm excited to see him back on the court.
Aaron, you may have answered this, but last home game, regardless of what happens in this unbelievable season, can you put that in perspective on what this year has been like and with this crowd and what you've been able to accomplish?
It's been an amazing year. I'm trying not to think of it that way, though. Still got 2 games to win. And after the season's over, then I'll reflect more. But fans have been great all year. I can't wait to see them practice this room out one more time. We're going to need them.
If Tyrese isn't 100%, doesn't look like he will be, a lot of you guys aren't. How do things change if he doesn't play as much or doesn't play as effectively as a lot of us hope that he can?
Different guys got to step up in different ways and cover for each other. And, we understand what he brings to our team. It's very hard to duplicate from anybody else. So everybody's going to have to do a little bit more just to help fill that void.
You really shot well during the season and in the playoffs, and especially in Game 5 you had a great shooting night. Are there any positives you can take from those games that even though you might wish you would have won, are there any positives you could take from
there's
those
always
games?
positives and negatives from every game. We made shots. I still thought there were things defensively we could have done better, but we did a decent job in some ways. But it's just about, these guys are, such a good team. We got to play a perfect 48 minutes against these guys. And, we got to figure out a way how to do that tomorrow.
What's atop the checklist in trying to keep them from getting in the paint, getting so easily to there, especially Jalen Williams?
To keep them out of the paint. That's the number 1 priority for you.
Starts with point of attack with the individuals, and then help side.
We'll see.
Aaron, one more. You're down 3-2, obviously, but you're also 2 wins away from the chip. Does it help you to be optimistic about it?
Yeah. I think looking at it that way is the way you have to look at it. Understand the moment. You're 2 wins from the NBA championship. We've been in this situation before. All we got to do is just go out there and do it. That's it. 1 game at a time, 1 day at a time. All right. Thank you. No more?
What are the points you think you guys need to improve to the next season?
I think we got to stop turning the ball over as much. That's the main thing. I think that will help get shots on the rim and allow us to really compete in the game.
We saw Tyrese in the practice. He made some shots. What you can say about future these conditions?
Yeah, that's a question you asked him. Yeah.
Guys off the bench, so many games this season, somebody's been able to step up, and multiple guys have been able to. Just what has made the reserve group so effective all this part of the season?
Yeah, I think we've been together the last 2-3 years, and I think the continuity and the togetherness is there. I think they all got a real belief in each other, and they play hard. They're together.
Myles talked about how they kind of mirror the starting 5 also. Just kind of that continuity of the lineup seems to have been what's made it the most effective. You guys see that?
Yeah, I think continuity with any group allows for guys to feel comfortable out there on both sides of the court, and allows the best product, for sure.
But the energy that they bring sometimes, there's always a spark from at least one of these guys. You can see that kind of on the daily here. You see it in practice, you see it on the off day.
Yeah.
Just in general.
100%. I think we always talk about how deep our team is, and there's a different guy every day that can bring a little bit more and give us that boost that we need to get over the hump. Yeah.
Any other questions?
Yeah, you've been one of the best perimeter defenders on this team. So OKC will have one game where they score 3 threes, and the next game they'll make 14 of them. How has it been to kind of change those defensive strategies when a team can win so many?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you got to stick to what you're doing and double down on what's working. And sometimes tough shots are going to be made in the league, and you got to tip your hat and keep moving forward.
This opportunity tomorrow to force a game 7, back against the wall. Like, what's your mindset going in? It's a challenge, but I imagine you guys are embracing that.
Most definitely. It's an exciting challenge. This is the things that you get excited about, you play for. It's going to be fun in here. And it's leave it all out there. It's a do or die. You don't want to regret anything. But,
Drew, has that hit you yet that this will be the last home game? It's been such a special season. I know you don't want to look back on it yet, but this is it. The Fieldhouse for what's been an incredible year.
No, it's exciting. I know there's going to be rocking in here. We love playing in here. Can't wait to get out there. Yeah.
If you step back for a second, think about this team, their style of play, OKC, their style of play. Does this feel like a transitional moment for the game itself? Like little kids watching at home, the game has changed, evolved a lot over the years. How do you think about these two teams, this finals, and what it says about the state match?
I mean, I think depth is key at this point. It allows for fresh guys to be in there, and a fresh guy is better than the guys, maybe a better guy that's a little bit tired. You see the versatility on both teams, on both sides of the floor, allows for different matchups, different lineups, versatility in the game and how you're playing it. There's a lot of different things that can be unpacked with that, for sure.
Yeah, Andrew, you've obviously been one of the best defensive players in these playoffs, going up against Branson, now against Shea. Who did you learn defense from? Do you have someone in mind? Who did you watch, you study to be the defender that you are today?
Man, I think not really somebody I watched. I think my pops always taught me at a young age to compete and play on that side of the floor and play it hard. I've always been the guy that took on the matches ever since I was a young guy. I've just learned to get better and learn different tricks and gadgets and people's tendencies.
Going into a game like the game you guys have tomorrow, you've obviously been a competitor your whole life, like you just said. How do you feel? Is this like the ultimate test for a guy like you?
No doubt. I think the playoffs in general is the ultimate test, or the finals in general. But a closeout game, do or die, it's things we live for, things that make the game fun, For sure.
Any more?
Thanks, man. I have one question. So the Pacers have had several comebacks throughout the year, whether it be the regular season or the playoffs. How much does that give you confidence being down 3-2 in the series?
We've had individual game comebacks, yes. Haven't been down in the series yet this year, but have last year. We're just focused on one game at a time, and trying to leave it all out there tomorrow.
Drew, obviously, a lot of times over the course of the last 3 years, you've had to pick up the games where Ty hasn't been able to play. Basically, how much does that prepare you for a situation like this? If you can't, number one, number two, just how do you see the kind of approach different in terms of taking on this defense as a point guard and what you have to do just to get the ball in the paint against these guys?
Yeah, no, those previous experiences definitely helped me and made me comfortable for this opportunity that may be presenting itself. In terms of our team, we all got to just make up for it as a group, collective, be together, get the ball in the paint, play hard. Yeah.
Last one.
Drew, we've already been asked, sorry, but 110, if you guys are over that, you've won every game in this playoffs, with or without Tyrese. What do you feel like you guys need to do to get your offense a little bit more flowing in this game 6?
Say that one more time?
You guys are undefeated this playoffs when you score over 110. You haven't hit that the last couple. What do you feel like you need to do to get the offense flowing, with or without Ty this next
Get over 110, yeah. Get the ball in the paint. I turn the ball over less, to be honest. 25 turnovers, we took 12 less shots than them. That's a big swing in the game right there. We need to get the possessions where it's closer for sure. Win the possession game.
Thanks. The other night and getting through practice today.
Just focused on this next game. We just got to go into this next game fearless and know there's 2 games left, but we got to get this one tomorrow first. So.
What is the most important thing you guys have to do to keep this season alive?
Just go out there, play our type of basketball. bring 110 effort the whole entire game, and just do what we do best.
Hey Obi, you have already played 100 games this season, and I'm just tired going one city to another in these NBA Finals.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell the people how it's to play a Game 6 after 100 games in one season? Are you tired?
No, I'm not tired. Still young, so got these young legs on me. But this is our job. We love to do it, and wouldn't want to do anything else. So.
Tyrese may not be 100%, but he's out there playing. Does that inspire you guys to try hard, especially leading up to tomorrow night?
Yeah, we got soldiers on this team. We're going to try and play through any type of injuries or anything. Ty's a soldier. He's most likely going to be good. We don't know yet, but we'll see how that goes tomorrow.
How do things change, though, if he's not the way we normally see him, not 100%, giving everything he's got?
Next man got to step up. Everybody on this team is more than capable of stepping up and filling in anybody's spot. So we just got to go in there and be dogs to get this win.
Remy, obviously, she's had some cute moments on social media. What does it mean for you to share this with her, and what's your kind of relationship with Tyrese and everyone?
My beautiful girl. She loves all the players. The players love her. But it's amazing to spend this opportunity in the finals with her. She obviously 3 years old, doesn't really understand what's going on, but it's kind of starting to click. She's starting to feel the different type of energy in here, and she's just bringing everybody love.
Does she know when she's coming to your game? Like, is that something that she's looking for?
Yeah, every home game she comes to. So she makes it to a couple away games throughout the year, but every home game she's going to be at for sure. She won't miss it. She won't let us miss it or let her miss it.
Well, this is kind of random, but I saw a clip of you a while back doing like sign language. Do you know ASL, or can you explain like that?
Yeah, word. I did see that clip, but I was supposed to take a language in like high school for something. Like you have to take a language, and my language was ASL. I didn't want to take Spanish, or it was hard doing that. And so it was like sign language might be the easiest one. And so I just took 2 years of sign language, and I know a couple words here and there.
Has it helped you, I guess, connect with a couple fans here and there just because of that? Or?
Yeah, like you seen that video that went viral. There was this guy, I think his name was Harold, if I'm wrong, my bad. But like I see him a lot actually, and we talk sometimes. But it definitely helps me connect with guys.
What does TJ inject into this team?
A lot of energy. He goes out there and he gets 110 every single game. Like doing little things, getting steals, being the fastest guy out there, getting into the paint. He's doing a lot out there when he's on the floor, and we definitely feel his energy.
What's that bond like between that second unit with him?
Yeah.
It's seemingly kind of the leader.
Like TJ does a great job at being the point guard in that second unit, or whenever he's on the floor. He draws so much attention, offensively and defensively. But everybody knows what they got to do when they're on the floor with TJ. We expect him to get into the paint. We expect him to move the ball. Like, we know what he's doing when we're out there on the floor, so it makes our job easier.
When Shea and Jalen get going in the fourth quarter like they did the other night, how tough is that to defend?
Those are two great players. But we got great defenders that's looking at film, watching film every day to get better, and hopefully that won't happen again.
Knowing that last game wasn't your best one, and you know you're so much more capable of doing. How important is that to have this fire now inside of you to show I can do more and I want to do more, and to help to bring more into the next game?
Yeah. I mean, nobody's perfect. You ain't gonna have a great game every single game, but just doing whatever you can out there on the floor, whether it's hustling, getting loose balls, rebounds, little things. Like, you don't have to score 30 points to have a good game. Just impacting the game differently, like setting charges or getting steals or being the first to the floor, 50-50 balls. Just doing little things like that. We try to bring that into every single game. So,
what was it like to see Isaiah out here participating in ways that he can, given like today's 9 months since surgery? It's been upsetting not having Isaiah on the team, but he's worked extremely hard to
to be able to be out here with us today. But like I said, he's been working really hard every single day to get to where he's at. So can't wait for him to get back.
What have these last two days been like as you guys have tried to kind of probably mentally reset, learn from the last game, but also move forward?
Yeah, it's just been studying them. We have 2 days to study these guys, have 5 games under our belts, so we can watch all those films and see what we did wrong. But we just got to come into this next game and play our type of basketball, be dogs, and do what we do best.